everybody. Welcome to Divas of the Roundtable podcast. I'm your girl, Nikki Nicole, here with Spicy Red and Ladybug. On today's show, y'all, we have a very, very special guest. Today's show, we have a Jacksonville native who is a proud graduate of William M. Raines High School, where he was the morning announcer. He's so impressed, then high school principal, the late Mr. Jimmy Johnson, so much so that the school came up with a television production class for him and other students to hone their particular skills in this genre. After high school, he went on to work for Jacksonville's V101.5 as a radio personality. Since then, he has evolved into a social media influencer, one half of the Party Starters with Beanie the Maestro. He's an actor, activist, River City Youth Sports Living Legend Award recipient. He's a father, grandfather, and husband. You all, welcome to the show, Eugene White, better known as Gene.com.
All right.
I had to question who she was talking about. Thank you, ladies, for inviting me to your platform. I see you all's movement, and I like the direction that y'all are heading in.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that coming from someone like you.
Yes.
I appreciate it.
Yes. I remember I met Gene years ago. We were working at Winn-Dixie grocery store on Edgewood, where I was a cashier. He was a bagger, man. We became fast friends. And I went on to go to Raines with him. And we both graduated class of 93 from Raines. And I remember after graduation, going down the street and hearing him on the radio. And it's crazy. I've never shared this with you, but I was so proud. I was like, that's my friend, that's my friend. I know him, And I just remember being so proud hearing you on the radio.
Thank you.
And hearing, you talk and, and how eloquently you spoke and everything. You made me proud to be your friend, proud to be a fellow Viking. And then just watching you through the years evolve as a man. Very, very proud. And so that's when we talked about getting this podcast going, man. I was like, we got to get Gene on the show, man. So,
Thank you. I mean, this is actually like what we're doing. Back then, we were doing TV production. We didn't know anything about podcasting or anything like that. We just wanted to be in front of the camera. Truthfully, radio was never on my dartboard to do. I never even thought about radio. I wanted to do television.
Okay.
Yeah, my plans were, and he said, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yes.
But my plans was to graduate from high school. I was going to go to FAM, major in communications, and I was going to go to California. I'm going to make it in Hollywood. I didn't do none of that. I didn't do any of that, but I'm thankful for the road that I did travel. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it the exact same way because it made me the individual that's sitting here in front of you right now.
Yes. I agree. Yeah, that's good. So what made you go into radio? Like, because you said it wasn't on your plans, it wasn't in your plans. So how did you fall into radio?
Great. That's a great question. So I had a son at a very early age. I was 19. So my son was born right after we graduated.
Okay.
A year after we graduated. I'm a father. So, of course, I was doing the school thing, going to FCCJ at the time. I didn't go to FAM, decided to stay here. And then that was how the son came.
Okay.
And then me, because I didn't have a dynamic relationship with my biological father, I knew who he was, we kicked it from time to time. But when my son was born, I said, I didn't want to be what my father was to me. I want to be better.
Yeah.
So he became my blueprint to surviving and me thinking of him. I got a soul that I have to take care of. I have I took responsibility. So I was working different odd jobs and I landed a job at Airborne Express. Airborne is like back then it's like a FedEx, a UPS. And after doing a couple of years at Airborne Express, I started to deliver to the radio station.
Okay, nice.
And at the time, the radio station was on Balmore Circle. We was 92.7 and Hot 101.5 back then. And right by Sam's in that curve was where the radio station was. And so I was delivering there. And one afternoon, because we do deliveries, and then we do pickups. So you come to the same business. If they got pickups for you, pick them up and take them on back to the station, what have you. Well, one afternoon I was out there in the lobby. I bumped into, his name is William Barker, but he's Chill Will on the air.
Okay.
And at the time, the flavor unit was hot. And when I picked up on his voice and made my introduction, I just threw a pitch out there. I was like, hey, I listen to y'all every morning. I think the show is great. Y'all could use like a man on the street, someone that can tell you about the traffic. And immediately he was like, that sounds like a great idea. What time do you normally come? And so I said, I normally get here. If I have a package for you, I normally get here between 9 and 9:20. He said, when you come in the morning, have them buzz you back. He put me on the air the next day.
Wow. That is great. Wow. Okay.
Yep. And without any knowing the business of radio or anything like that, I just became a voice on the flavor unit.
Okay.
And then they offered me a job to be in promotions. And shoot, the rest was history.
Wow, that is awesome. That's what I spoke about that on my private interview I did with the producers. And I said, I've never thought about giving up because every day you wake up, it's another day to do something better than you did the last day. So, and I say any given day, anything could happen. You never know. You could go in the mall and somebody could pick you up to be in a commercial that could change your life. And you was just making a delivery and just did a pitch. You heard the voice and you just, wow, that's awesome. I never knew that. That is great. That's a great story, a great testimony.
Yeah. I just think if you would have never had the faith or the courage to just step out there and do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
And I'm gonna be honest, I was really just kind of playing with it. I just said it.
Yeah.
Because again, radio wasn't, I didn't know the business of radio, how it worked. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do TV. But at that particular time, if I could add some money to the bottom line to help me take care of this kid,
Exactly.
I'm going with that.
Exactly.
And it's gotta be fun. And just like with any industry, it has its highs and its lows. I've seen dark days in it and then seen some of the brightest sunshines in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it because it gives me an opportunity to connect with the audience.
Okay.
And at least give some positive nuggets for the people that are listening.
Yes. I agree.
So tell us, how did you team up with Beanie the Maestro?
So Beans and I, this is another funny story. Beans and I go back like YMCA. And, I wasn't holding a microphone in. He wasn't holding no headphones in or anything. Beanie has a cousin named Dallas. And Dallas had a garage and he would have like his console set up where Beanie would come over and play on the console or whatever. So one day he took me with him. I'm like, okay, he's starting to get a little, taking it seriously. Let's get in and let's make a couple of mixed CDs or whatever. So we did that and we would play the CD back just to critique ourselves. But then it was a time where Beanie kind of slowed down on the DJing. But me, I was still in radio and, I did the Come Together days, these different concerts, you're there actively building your brand.
Yes.
So it was one and Al Pete and I, we were doing, as I used to rock with Al Pete too, and still do, but we hadn't done anything exclusively in a long time. But back in this day, this was like the glossary was going on. We had that going on, Rewind Old School.
Okay.
To my brother, God bless his soul, Orion Benjamin Reddick, he created, that was his brainchild. So we had a couple of things in the city going on. And one Funk Fest, getting back to your question, Beanie was just out there and about. And I told him, I was like, if you take this DJ thing serious, I think we can make a stamp in this city. And he did. He really honed in on his craft and we started doing, I was invited to a wedding. This was years ago, before we ever created the wedding package or the party stars or anything. I was invited to a wedding, and I just so happened to be a guest. And the groom asked me, would I make the announcements or the intros? And I was like, cool, because I was cool with the groomsmen or whatever. And I did it, and I sat there and thought about it. I was like, I could do this. And then the wedding package career. I was like, Beanie, come on, let's go. I got a concept. Let's do it. And then we started doing weddings, and then the parties just organically came.
Yes.
And just staying consistent. Like we've been doing it for now well over 15 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we ran into a couple just last night who was out, and they've been married for 10 years.
Okay.
So I know it was like 5 before we even did their wedding, but they've been married 10 years.
Nice. Real nice. So what is one of your most memorable experiences in radio? Like, I know you do a lot of things when celebrities come in and everything. What is one of the most memorable things that you've done since you've been in radio?
Man, that's hard. It's like me trying to narrow down like a top 5.
Give us a top 5 then.
Okay. One of the things that I always remember is the Outkast concert at
Oh yeah.
It was at the University of Florida.
Okay.
It was in Gainesville, and we took a bunch of listeners to that concert because it was right there. It was Outkast, Ludacris, and somebody else. But when I tell you, it was a show. And then I got a chance to see the dynamics between Big Boy and 3000 because I had never seen a group with 2 different tour buses.
Wow. Yeah.
So Big Boy's tour bus, like you got on his bus, the music is going.
It's a party.
It's a party. They puffing away, liquor being passed. You got 2 guys playing Nintendo. They shooting the duck hunt and all of that, right? So it's a party going on. After the show is over with, the party's on there. So we had a chance to talk with Big Boy for a little bit, snap some pictures of him. Bam. We go on 3000's bus. You could hear rap his song coming. No, it's those lamps, those
Lava
lamps going. You hear this massage music. He's sitting there in solace. Young lady's undoing his hair.
Wow.
It's
Oh, wow.
you almost don't want to talk because it's so peaceful. And that showed me the different dynamics of them, but how it's the yin to the yang.
Yeah.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
And how it works. And really, to be honest, that's me and Beanie.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is our dynamics.
Yeah,
He's gonna
because
be
he's always been more of an introvert. Like,
but he gonna play that music loud.
Yeah.
he gonna play it.
He gonna play that
He
music
gonna play
loud.
the
I'll be the
music.
extrovert, but you can put me in a place and I like the piece of it because I like to hear myself think.
Okay.
So that was, I would say that was number 1. 2 was when Jay-Z and R. Kelly fell out,
Okay.
but Jay-Z that tour was still scheduled to come. So Jay wanted to still give Jacksonville a show. So he came. But before then, they call a radio station to do an interview. I interviewed her.
Oh, okay.
So I won't forget that. And I got an autograph poster that he signed he was promoting the Black album, but he had to film the movie that was coming with it, like how the album got made. And so he had a poster that he signed. So that's got to be in the top 5. Another moment that I never forget is David Banner and my son clicked at a come together day. And we had bought David Banner like a couple of times. We might have like bought him 1 year and then skipped and bought him back another year. But he remembered my kid
Okay.
Nice.
and picked him up and brought him on stage. I thought that was like
Yeah.
that's number 1 for me.
I've always heard good things about David Banner, though.
Oh,
He's
man.
Yeah.
really, really cool guy.
He don't know he my husband, but
But out of those 3 that you just named, like, I mean, if I could pick anybody to sit down and have a talk with, Jay-Z, because I mean the business mind, his business, and plus, I always was a fan. Y'all forgive me for being from the South, but I was always a fan of Northern rap. And
Me too.
So for me,
I don't apologize for that.
yeah, and I've always been a fan of Northern Rap. And I mean, besides me just totally loving Beyonce, that's irrelevant at this point. Jay-Z, his business state, I mean, his mind state, just the way he moved. I love that.
Yeah, he
and
uses his 24.
Outkast and David Banner, wow.
Right.
I mean, your three is hitting. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. So, you have anything else?
I may think of something
Okay.
as we continue to converse.
Yeah.
But those are the things that really stick out for me because it was pinnacle.
Yeah.
That at that time, especially being engaging as they was and polarizing as they are, to see that like up close and personal, you really not. And then we didn't have the phones,
Right. Yeah.
so you taking it out and you recording. You were there enjoying
The moment.
Yeah.
the moment.
You
Like
enjoying
it was really socialization at its
Right,
finest because
right.
you're talking to people,
It's
and as you know where
personal.
we are in society now, we don't really have that. Everybody got their face in their
Right.
phone. If we're at an event, we got the phones up.
Yeah.
If we're at the restaurant,
Got
we
your
got the
phones
phones up.
Yeah.
You know, we just bought something new. We got the phones up.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not a whole lot of contact. Kids are not really writing. I'm looking at your nice manuscript over there. You get these
Thank
kids to write this day and time. They don't know because they text us.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
And they abbreviate in text. Like, you even lazy in the text.
Yeah.
Right.
WYD.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Yeah. Instead of saying what you're doing.
What are you doing? We ain't gonna
Yeah.
type it out. What you
I
doing?
get those things all the time.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
let me ask you, do you get nervous?
Absolutely. I'm nervous right now.
When she said that, I said, he don't be nervous.
Oh no. No. But it's a good thing for me. If I'm not nervous, I feel like I'm a bomb.
Okay.
I'm a bomb. If I don't feel no anxiousness or any type of nervousness, then it's just not real to me. I want to feel that.
You
Okay.
think the nerves keep you on your toes? Keep you
Def-
sharp?
Definitely so. But once, it's like with anything. People ask, like, when you doing those concerts, you don't be nervous? And I really can't see all of the people.
Gotcha.
So to me, when I'm in an arena, I'm standing in the mirror in the bathroom. Like
Gotcha.
I know that there's people there, but I can't really see in detail. I'm a lot more nervous if I got to speak in front of a group of 6 people. Because everybody see me there.
Yeah.
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 This
you're
man
the
was
center.
dressed sharp that Anthony Hamilton.
He always be
He
sharp.
was dressed sharp.
He is coordinated. He probably be in the mirror like, okay, yeah,
Man,
let's go kill him.
It was Anthony Hamilton, man. I couldn't come half stepping. I can't have y'all talking about me.
He be together, eyeglasses, the hats. If
I
he
can't
don't step, he step all the way.
I can't have y'all talking about me and be like, what you ain't got on?
So now,
Go ahead.
the best advice for someone who wants to be in the industry, what can you give them?
Shoot, don't be afraid. This industry, entertainment, period. Well, ain't not just entertainment. I'm not going to just narrow it down to that. Any industry, whether you corporate or what, could be cutthroat.
Yeah.
And so in this business, you have people that mean you well, and then you have people that are not. They don't have your best interest. at heart.
Amen to that.
And the hard part about it is you don't know until once you go in.
Yeah.
But I remain on my square at all times. Like, I'm not coming in to take anything. Only want what belongs to me.
Humble.
That's it. And I'm gonna do the job that we discussed, and let's have the funds right that we discussed.
Exactly.
It's over, and that's it. And you learn to deal with people. I mean, the less people you deal with, the better, because, like I said again, everybody doesn't have your best interests at heart.
Right.
Everybody doesn't have the business acumen that you may have. But most importantly to that, it's disgusting to not get the value of what you're worth.
Right.
And so that I won't ever budge on that. And we've had clients that we've had to say, hey, unfortunately, you're just not our client. We gotta wait until the client comes along who we are. Because if I'm having a conversation with a potential client and I give them a price and they ask, well, can we negotiate? I don't even want you to be my client anymore at that point
Yeah.
because you have just devalued the brand of who I am. And I find that we don't have a problem as blacks asking each other for discounts.
Exactly.
We don't have a problem with that. But we can go into these other establishments
Exactly.
and you're not going to fix your mouth to ask for it because they're going to tip you right on out the door. Hey, while you making a decision, come on here
Yeah.
and let me bring you up. And that's something that we got to get out of
Yeah.
because whatever your fee is your
That's
fee.
your fee.
That's your fee, right?
Now, I might not be your customer because I can't afford it, but that don't mean I should ask you for a discounted rate.
Right.
Exactly.
And that would be sound advice number one. Know your value.
Right.
Deliver on what you say you're going to do. I don't owe anybody.
Right.
I sleep good at night. I ain't ducking. I ain't who looking for me. None of that. I sleep very well at night knowing that I was fair to that person, even if that person wasn't fair to me.
Right.
Right.
Speaking on your brand, let's talk about this inspiration on launching this perfume.
So in 2010, I was an account executive for the station at the time.
Okay.
I come off the air I came off the air in 2007. So from 99 to 2007, I was on the air. I became an account executive in 2007. So I got off the air. But I was selling advertisement, which those were some of the best times of my life because I could go into a small business. We sit and explore marketing options for you to convey a message to your customer, and seeing people come in your doors like that made me extremely happy.
Okay.
But you learn different sales techniques and different criterias of sales and being a fine salesperson to where I'm like, you know what, I could take this, what I'm learning, and apply it to something independently over here.
Yeah.
So I thought about, I think I want to do a perfume.
Okay.
And in that, this wasn't a perfume that existed before and I just threw my name on
Right.
it. You know, you have companies that have different fragrances already ready and they just want you to buy into that particular fragrance. No, this was built from scratch. I had to connect with the chemist. And then I had to connect with, shout out to Tan Mayhew. She was my project manager. And Tan connected me with a chemist. And then she put together a whole focus group. Now, it took months of me smelling different fragrances and finding the right hint of this, mix it with that. Let me see, different floral notes and stuff. Like, I learned a lot during the process. Then, once you narrow down the fragrance, now you got to think about packaging. What do you want that to look like?
Yeah.
What you want the bottle to look like? So, I had like maybe 6 different bottles. And the focus group narrowed it down to 4. And then the fragrance that was known as Dottie Perfume, the focus group selected that as the best one. And I took it to market. And it did very well. It did too well because I wasn't ready for how fast
It was going.
it was going. And so the first batch went like this. So now it's time to order
Amen.
order another batch. And so once that batch sold, things just got busier on the hosting side, the event side, and I kind of got further and further away from it. But it is my hopes to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
That's what one of the next questions was like. Are you thinking about doing a relaunch? So
Yes.
that'd be great to bring it back. Okay.
Yes, yes,
Well,
I
let
am.
me go back to this because we were talking about radio at first, and you say you came into the business in 1999. 1999 to now, what is your take as a radio personality on the music and how everything has kind of changed? Now we get into I mean, it's all over the place. You know
It's
what I'm
all over the
saying?
place. You don't
It's just like, and with us
understand
being like old school hip hop, you know, because we were young, really, really young, when rap was in its infancy, and you know, stuff like that. And of course, we all grew up, I'm sure, in the Motown, listening to Motown from our parents and stuff, and listening to real music with real bands and things of that nature. And then we went into the crooners. You know, we grew up, we know old Luther with the curl and without the curl and all this old stuff. You know, so how do you see this music today? What do you think about as a radio personality? What do you think about today's music and what us and our children and, you know, people behind us got to listen to? Like, I mean, what we're being presented.
We're definitely living in a different time
Yeah.
of music. These young people, they have their own language, they have their own rules and protocols. You know, the Bible talks about this. Like the generations that come, they're going to be wise, but they're going to be weaker. And so the music itself, like I think about artists like Chuck D and Brother J and even LL and Rakim and you know, they were conscious about what they spoke about, and they made us aware. There were a lot of teachable moments in the music that we were listening to. This generation more so is they're about the partying, how they party, what we expecting after the party. So it's different, and there is a lot of great artists that are out there. I think for me though, the biggest message is, and I even remember NWA saying it, Dr. Dre said it on an interview, what we do is entertainment. We talk about what's going on around us, but we're not actually doing those acts.
Right.
To me, that said, hey, forget the money. Let me let these kids know we're not really doing this for real. This is all entertainment, but it was a responsibility move. I think about when we was in the era where guys let their pants sag. Whoever the highlighted MCs was, the rappers or whatever, if they would have just got on there and say, hey, it ain't cool to sag your pants, we probably, you know, we wouldn't have went through that. It would have been influenced to say otherwise. Now, that's just my opinion. I think now it's less responsibility because it's about the money. And then you got to understand, too, these record companies, they're not, you know, in the clear because they want to push that because it's a deeper agenda. If we can get as many people incarcerated.
Free work, free labor.
Free labor. So let's put that out there. My grandmother used to tell me, hey, what you listen to, it'll come out in your actions. Be careful what you input in here to come out in your action. And she had a valid point then, and she still has one now.
Well, let me ask you this too. Do you think if you were in a different time and maybe a different location, because Jacksonville is so big, but yet we're so behind, do you think that by now, with the years that you put in and how much work you've done in the industry, being on radio, that you would have like one of those like Charlemagne type of shows? Do you think that you syndicated show? Do you think you will be at that level?
I do. And I look at that sometimes because I had an opportunity, you know, some years back to leave, but I had to make a decision on, do I leave and then go back on my word and be a postcard father of, hey, you come stay with me over the summer, or do I sacrifice and stay here? So my prayer was, God, let me make it here, because I don't want to be away from my kids.
Nice.
I'm gonna just use my talents here. So yeah, I could have explored that, and you know, never say never. You know, I don't know what's around the corner, but I know I wanted to finish the mission of raising my kid. Now I have a daughter that's coming up, and you know, I'm not gonna leave her either. So we're gonna make it work.
What do you see? What do you think about Jacksonville's music scene, and as far as like how the city is growing, and do you see us growing as far as being able to produce good music talent?
I do. There's a lot of great MCs here. And some had the tenacity to take their talents and network in other areas, because you do have to do that.
Yeah.
You can't just stay,
Right here.
but you do want to own your home, because that looks good outside to other cities, whether you're traveling to Orlando, Atlanta, LA, New York, Carolinas, wherever. It looks good to have a base at home.
Right.
But you do want to go in other areas, because that's how your music and your brand of who you are is going to spread. I tell cats all the time when they are presenting me music or sending me music, well, what's the next step? The next step is to grind and get this piece of music in front of as many faces as you possibly can. And you don't have to just focus on here. You got Tallahassee up the road.
Right.
You got Daytona up the road. You got Orlando up the road. You got Miami down the road. Like, you could go from here to here to here and then have a base in your region
Okay.
and live independently happy.
Yeah.
For people getting your music. There are artists that they know where their fan base is. They go and get the venue, do their own shows, sell their own tickets, promote their own merch, and they fine. This is what they do, and they're traveling from here to here to here. You may not see them on your television, but you hear them on your Spotify or your Pandora or what have you, and they are out there doing shows in other areas, making a decent living.
I remember we used to have that show, Come Together Day. Do we have anything of that nature going on in Jacksonville?
No, Come Together Day, and that was an event that was created by the people of the community, where they would do it at JP Small Park, and then they utilize downtown, and they would get local artists to come in and perform. And then once the radio station, the corporate entity, got whiff of it, they then purchased it, licensed it, and then threw the shows for it. And I think like the first 2 years they did it for free, and then they started charging like $10. And people was like, "No, it used to be free. This. But the different artists that were being brought were bigger artists,
Right.
So it was like it was $10 for you to see a T-Pain who was just coming out, and then you bring a Nick Cannon in with that, put Goody Mob in there somewhere. You bringing these people, like Brandy has been here, Come Together Day. Monica has been here so many times for Come Together Day. Like these different artists that came, Master P, that came through the city and giving the city an opportunity to see them for $10 or $12 or whatever it was. I thought that was a good deal. What happened was the climate changed.
Okay.
And when things got a lot rough and neighborhoods started having these different beefs, and it made it unsafe to put people in the park without having so many police officers.
Right.
So the money that you made, it went to paying the police, it went to paying the fire department. So it becomes, now it's not worth doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we only have a few more minutes left. I want to get into something personal real quick. I know you mentioned your son Desmond earlier, and I know you lost him to violence. Was it different for you going through that grieving process in the public eye? Did you feel like that support was a good thing for you, or did you find it to somewhat be intrusive and like an invasion of privacy?
No, I didn't. The love that was given is, and that's why, like, no matter the bad outlooks people may have on the city or what have you, I could never turn my back on the city, because the love that poured in, I needed that. I needed y'all prayers. I had never experienced anything like that before, and it's the type of tragedy that it just doesn't fade away after 5 years. Like it's been 5 years, but to me it feels like it happened 15 minutes ago. Yeah. So the intrusiveness part came, to be honest, a lot from the media. The media was very, because they wanted a story.
Yeah.
And I wasn't gonna parade his death around like it was this token
Mm-hmm.
of sympathy or, well, let me just use this because I want to get on every single TV camera. That I ran from that.
Yeah.
I ran from that. I didn't answer any questions. They even called. I remember. I don't know how they even got my phone number, but if they wanted, they get it. They called during the repast.
Oh.
I'm sitting at the repast, and the news called and wanted to get a story on it. I felt like that was intrusive.
Oh, yes.
But the love that was given,
Okay.
I wouldn't have made it if it wasn't for the love.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad you had that support from the community. So before we get out of here, y'all know every show we do an end with 10. And we're going to do an end with 10 real quick with Gene. Gene, we're going to shoot 10 rapid fire questions at you.
Oh, boy.
And here we go, my brother. Start off spicy.
Favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? That's tough. Juneteenth.
Nice.
Good one.
Dream vacation destination?
I've never been to Spain.
Okay.
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Man, that's hard.
That's a tie.
It's hard because they both mean the world to me.
Right.
What, do I take a shot if I don't answer the question? I can't. That's tough. But I'd have to say, I'm connected to both of them. But give me Mike.
Okay. Here's one. What's your zodiac sign?
Aquarius.
What is your favorite color?
I don't have one.
Oh.
Number of tattoos?
Oh shoot.
I see a few.
Look at
I see a few. Okay. Oh, wow.
Somebody 6.
6.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You can only play one CD during a road trip. What are you going to play?
Dang, man.
I got in my head what he gonna say.
It's tough. Okay. If I'm road trip, I only got one CD.
One CD.
Not 3.
Not 3. One
One.
CD. On repeat.
Give me Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die.
See, I was thinking Goody Mob.
I was thinking Outkast, Southern Playalistic. What is your favorite food?
Seafood.
Okay. What are you most passionate about?
Speaking life into individuals.
I know that's right.
And something you're most thankful for?
Life itself.
Amen.
This is the best time to be alive right now.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
So there you have it. There's Gene.com's End with 10 here with Gene. Man, Gene, we appreciate you being here.
Thank y'all for having me.
Just shout out real quick. Let the people know where they can find you.
Easy. I ain't hard to find it all. Instagram, Gene, DOTCOM. R&B Bingo on Tuesdays. Starting June 26th, we're going to kick off the midday lunch rush on Wednesdays at Indulgence. Fridays is the live bar. Saturdays, we're probably doing somebody wedding that you know and or retirement party that you know. Sunday's the skate station.
All right.
All right.
So there you have it. You guys, we appreciate y'all for tuning in on Divas of the Roundtable podcast. I'm your girl, Nikki Nicole. And don't forget, if you think about anything with positivity, love, and moolah, think about me. If you on the road and you see that FedEx truck, think about my girl, Spicy Red. And if you get that call from the school telling you to come pick up your badass kid, think about Ladybug. She's been teaching for 26 years.
Oh,
Y'all be
man.
blessed.
Good
Have a
for
good
that.
one.